I'm Dave Sirota. This is my first post on Open Left. I want to thank Matt Stoller and Chris Bowers for giving me the opportunity. I'm here in Denver, Colorado, my new home. I'm here with my dog, Monty. There he is. It's a nice dog. We are here today in my first post. We're going to go over basically my idea, and not just my idea, but a lot of people's idea, that the best way to prioritize issues for a movement is to prioritize the issues that bring in the biggest coalitions, the ones that bring together the largest number of organizations, groups, and constituencies for success. The more constituencies and groups you have in a coalition, the more chance for success that you have. My post goes over trade, on how trade and the fight over the secret trade deal of 2007 brings in quite a large constituency, quite a large coalition, and that I would assert that this is the kind of thing that we need to prioritize, not just because I'm personally into trade, but because the bigger the coalitions we build, the more successful we'll be. And the more successes we have, the bigger and the more productive the infrastructure we as a progressive movement will build. So I'm going to go right now in this video to some video of a floor speech I recently heard. And listen to the rhetoric in this floor speech. The rhetoric shows how wide a net you can cast, we can cast as a movement, if we focus on the issue of globalization and trade and really make this central to the progressive movement. You'll notice that this language, this rhetoric that was used on the Senate floor really can appeal not just to liberals but to conservatives, not just to urban folks or suburban folks but to rural folks. And I think that really exemplifies why trade and globalization needs to be a centerpiece of the progressive movement, of the issues that we take up as a progressive movement. Obviously there are other issues, and obviously I'm biased in liking the rhetoric of the person who you're going to see speak in a second because he's my former boss. But listen to it and think in your own mind about all the different kinds of issues we can prioritize that cast the widest possible net to build the biggest possible coalition.
The Financial Times on May 31st reported that Motorola would be cutting 4,000 jobs on top of an earlier 3,500 job reduction designed to generate savings of $400 million. Yet last year Motorola received 760 H-1B visas. And the list goes on and on. It's IBM, it's Citigroup, companies bringing in foreign professional workers at the same time they're laying off American workers. So we have a situation, Madam President, where on one hand these companies say they cannot find highly skilled American workers, while on the other hand they are eliminating thousands of American jobs. And what really upsets me is how our young people feel about the situation. These are kids who go to school, sometimes they borrow a lot of money to go to college, they work really hard, and what they're looking forward to, whether through a BA or a BS or an MA or a PhD, they're looking forward to a good, secure, challenging, meaningful job with a decent income. And what they are seeing is companies saying, we really don't want you. We want somebody from abroad who will work at lower wages than you do. And I think that must be very, very discouraging for so many of our young people. Madam President, the amendment that I am offering today, along with Senator Grassley, is a pretty simple amendment. And what it would do is it would prohibit companies that have announced mass layoffs from receiving new visas of any kind unless these companies could prove that overall employment at their companies would not be reduced by these layoffs. In other words, we're calling their bluff. And we're saying is you can't lay off large numbers of American workers and then tell us you desperately need workers, professionals from abroad. Madam President, those companies that are truly experiencing labor shortages would not be impacted by this amendment and could continue to receive an increase in foreign workers. But companies that are reducing their U.S. workforce by laying off thousands of Americans would be prevented from importing workers from abroad. Madam President, the bottom line is that companies that are laying off thousands of Americans shouldn't be allowed to import workers from overseas. Let us stand up for the American people. Let us stand up for American workers. Let us support this amendment. Thank you, Madam President.